Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. It's time to turn up the heat a little bit, because how else are you supposed to make incredible pieces of art out of glass? That's exactly what they do at the Wimberley Glassworks, so we decided to head on over that way to see how they make vases, paperweights, and even really big plates.
Well, do you want the history of glass or what?
Sure!
Okay. In the beginning, not that much history.
Tim De Jong is very young at heart, especially when it comes to his fragile form of art.
That's called wagging the noodle. It's a technical term.
Every day, you'll find him at the Wimberley Glassworks, creating incredible pieces of art that take some serious heat and some serious skills to shape.
This is clear glass at 2,110 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
At this temperature, it moves like honey. If I stop turning the pipe, it's going to drip right off the end like honey would off a spoon.
Wow. Since 1992, he's called Wimberley home, a far cry from his birthplace, some crazy place called Canada.
Born in Saskatoon.
Okay.
But I got here as soon as I could.
The son of a Methodist minister, Tim's family moved to the East Coast, and he got a bug for the arts early on.
Yeah, I went to art school. Every parent's nightmare. The next tool that I'm going to use is known throughout the world for glass making.
When it came to college, Tim had other ideas. Ideas his father clearly didn't agree with. You see, Tim's father was the first in his family to get a college degree, so he put Tim to the test, and it made him into the man he is today.
He knew what life was like without a college education, whereas I didn't. And the next day he gave me $300 cash and a one-way ticket to Seattle, and he said, work your way home. If you don't want to go to college, we'll talk. He didn't tell me until 3 weeks before he passed away that he cried coming all the way back from the airport, because he never thought I'd take him up on the challenge, but once I did, he couldn't back down.
So you were able to make it from Seattle back home?
4.5 months it took. Yep, I went through the $300 in about 4 days and thought I was being thrifty. Ended up on the street. I actually hitchhiked all the way down the California coast and across to Austin. Lived under the Congress Avenue Bridge for 6 weeks. I still pick up change walking across HEB's parking lot because I can't just leave it there. It was really the best thing the guy ever did for me.
Wow.
It taught me where absolute bottom was, but most importantly, how far can you push it until you fall? And if I fell, it was no big deal. I knew how to get out.
Once Tim made it back to the East Coast, he had a calling to come back to Texas.
I was just like, what in God's name am I doing in Philadelphia? And I looked at real estate all week, found a nice little piece of property, and moved in 11 months.
In the early 90s, he started his Glassworks gallery, and Tim didn't exactly break the bank.
I opened up my first full year of business. I grossed $2,000. Not netted, grossed.
Sure.
Most people would have closed the doors and walked away, and I was like, well, this isn't working. So I closed it during the week, and I went to Austin and fixed houses during the week, and came down, blew glass on the weekend.
Eventually, with perseverance and surrounding himself with other artists who shared his passion and shared their knowledge, Tim took his business to places he never imagined, including the corporate world.
We have a plethora of pieces in Houston and Dallas, and we also have in LA and Baltimore.
Okay. Wow, all over the country.
Yeah, pretty much. And we also decided to do one here, right here in our own entryway.
Wow.
We have 224 ribbons of glass.
The first time Tim dipped his foot into making gargantuan glass for the corporate world, it almost broke him. Fortunately, the friendly Texas business he frantically worked for saw the finished product and Tim's fortitude in his fine work.
The first commercial piece I did, I had to make 3 of these 14-foot diameter chandeliers. I'd never really bid a job like this. I really didn't know what I was doing, so I bid $200,000 on these 3 chandeliers, and I thought I was just gonna make out like a bandit. Well, they cost me $295,000 to build.
Wow.
And I remortgaged the house, and I borrowed from everyone I knew because I had to keep my word. My contract was that long, it's my word. Without your word, you're nothing. And the owner of the building comes up to me and he looks at me and I have a feeling you underbid this. I have a feeling you underbid it a lot. I was like, yeah. You know, he goes, invoice me the difference.
Wow.
And I cried. I bawled on the spot, and it took me about 5 minutes to get myself together. And he goes, the reason why we're doing this is we want you to succeed because we want to hire you again. And I'm telling you, there's not a place on this planet that's going to happen other than Texas.
The colorful pieces in Tim's gallery are also a part of this incredible story. The hot, labor-intensive work yields such amazing beauty, but it all started somewhere. Now you're just showing off. What was the first piece you ever made?
Oh, the first piece I ever made is in the front entry.
Really?
Yeah. It's in a little silver frame. It's about this big. It's got my 1979 college ID above it, which is really funny, and a little quote underneath it that says, "Every dream starts somewhere." So when my mom passed away 3 years ago, I found it rolling around her nightstand, and I took it out and I went, I know where this needs to go. And I stuck it out there because people walk in here and they don't realize everyone's first piece is butt ugly.
Luckily, there's a lot of pretty pieces to choose from, not just at the Wimberley Glassworks, but all over the area, known for seeing things in a different light.
There are so many quality artisans in this valley. I say Wimberley makes and the world takes.